life scenario. We are using a medical helpline called Visit app, which is on your mobile. Now, service providers are going to give us data, which part of the country, what set of employees are using this Visit app for what kind of medical assistance. Now, the data churned out of this, let's say some part of the country more using for diabetes versus somebody is more stress or psycho help or this or that. It will help us to roll out our HR programs which are addressing very precisely localized needs rather than announcing a program which is company wide and hardly touching 30%, 40% lives or fulfilling the dream and wishes of HR head or the CEO, right? So HR programs roll out, their precision will significantly improve, and that's what we're trying to do with HR analytics. That's my response to you. I don't know whether I've answered this. I think I'll have to, Prabhi, please.
So I'll make just one submission. So the caveat remains that you need to define your business issue. You know, your business challenge, your business opportunity. It has to start from there, not from HR analytics. And I completely agree with Alok. It's like everyone looking at the performance management system as the panacea for all organizational problems. It doesn't work that way, right? If you ask me personally, if I were to consult or advise, so there are different slices you can take. I would feel the one area that HR analytics should get sharper and deeper is really about your, let's say, top 100 roles, top 2% roles of the company. I personally am convinced that overall attrition, etc., important. I'm not taking that away. But top 2%, you can say it could be 3%, it could be 1%. Of your most significant roles, I'm not talking people, I'm not talking hierarchy, create disproportionate impact on the future of a corporation's business. Yeah, if you can just crack this problem, this is a strategic choice in terms of how do you determine which are those roles. It is not about what the title of the role is, what the salary of that guy is. Which are the roles as you see the next 5 years which can create disproportionate impact to an organization. And therefore, you leverage analytics to identify the roles. You leverage analytics to understand role holders. You leverage analytics to understand who therefore in your ecosystem internally or externally is the best guy, quote unquote, for sitting in that job to create that disproportionate impact. I mean, you have cracked a billion dollar opportunity. So if I had to pick, I will not personally get into too many of these small tactical issues because it's not going to add up to anything which is dramatic. But if you can look at something like this, and that is why my urge again is please look at your business opportunity or your business risk and then link your HR analytics priority to that. Then you will gain a lot of credibility. So it's a strategic mindset that you have to look rather than a very tactical view. Otherwise, you'll get lost with the weeds. Does that help you? Yeah, all right, thanks.
Sir, my apology, we'll have to discuss and I'll be there to respond to you. Sorry for this. So two things before we conclude the panel discussion. I don't want to really, but we have the constraint. One is don't forget human out of human resource. Okay? And last, I would just say, मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है. Keep the hostel strong and you will achieve the target. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Sir.
Check. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can we once again have a round of applause for the wonderful panelists? Thank you very, very much. Moving ahead, I would request the branch head of Shine.com, Mr. Ravi Pratap Singh, to kindly join us on stage and hand over a token of appreciation to all our panelists. So can we please welcome on stage the branch head, Shine.com, Mr. Ravi Pratap Singh. Mr. Singh, if you would please present a token of appreciation to Mr. Jha, Mr. Srivastava, Mr. Shiv Barkar. Mr. Banerjee. Chaudhary. Thank you. Can we request the gentleman to kindly step up ahead for a photograph? Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Singh, I would request you to kindly stay back, as we have a couple of other prizes that we're going to give out. But we would like to thank our panelists for giving us their valuable time. It was wonderful to have you with us. Thank you very, very much. Having said that, like I said at the start, that we have two prizes, one for the best Facebook check-in and one for the best tweet. Now it's time for us to announce the winners. Drum roll, please. And the winner for the Facebook check-in is... Any guesses? Ladies and gentlemen, the winner for Facebook check-in, Miss Vrishali Jamode. Well done. And now for the best tweet. And the winner is... Now any guesses? So who was deciding, by the way? And the winner for the best tweet is Ashish Gakre. Pleasure. Now, that was a wonderful panel discussion, but we have to close it by a closing note. And to deliver the closing note, we've got somebody very special. He is the founder and managing partner of Circular Angle. Prior to this, he was an advisor with Accenture, and before that, he led the recruitment policies and ER function for Accenture India. He has worked in various countries in 3 continents, and his last stint being in Australia doing consulting work in human capital management and strategy. His consulting experience spans across financial services, manufacturing, mining, infrastructure, public sector, and communications. He's an engineer and a master in personal management from Tata Institute of Social Sciences and is currently pursuing his PhD. He is also on the board of a couple of non-profit organizations and is a member of the Academic Council of various educational institutes. His interests are dramatics, reading, and sports. He is also a frequent speaker at conferences and also has authored articles for magazines and journals. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome on stage the founder and managing partner of Circular Angle, Mr. Prashant Karamkar.
Thank you very much for the invite and the introduction. I have the onerous responsibility of being between you and cocktails, and I don't want to take too much of your time. 2 sins we can't commit is being the first born in Hindu family, which I have done already, and the second one is to come between you and dinner. Don't want to do that. Luckily for me, I had the opportunity to study analytics for last about 18 years because my first brush came in 2000. In Australia with the City Council, Wollongong City Council, and then with Rio Tinto globally. And since then, my interest grew, and then finally I did my doctorate in it as well. So through this process, I learned quite a bit. and I'm still learning, of course. And I predicted that we will need something. So I predicted that all these words would be used today. And a couple of learnings that I have got over the last 18 odd years that I've been in this field, want to share some of that. Incidentally, have you seen Sholay? If you have not seen, then you have no chance of becoming a good analytics person. So please go and watch Sholay again, because he asks all the right questions. And the correct analyst is Gabbar Singh. He's asked the key question, kitne aadmi the? Right? Holi kab hai? He's predicting. He's trying to look at future. So all the right messages on analytics are in Sholay. So if you have not seen Sholay, please go and see Sholay today, tonight, and then you will automatically be on the right path to become a good HR analyst. I think the next frontier for HR analytics, if you ask me personally, taking on one question, just wanted to add to what the panelists have added, is about people-customer integration. HR, employee, and customer integration. That is the new frontier. Because if you can impact top line, then there are no questions asked. Because if you have money coming in, then you can spend on whatever you want to spend on. So I think that's the next frontier, and there is a lot of work happening in that, especially outside India, because there the attrition, etc. issues are not as significant. Going on, I think the key thing we are trying to do in analytics is basically influencing choice. That's what we want to do. For employees to stay with us, to grow with us, to lead customers, stakeholders, management, trying to influence them. We want to influence choices. That's what we are trying to do in analytics, trying to figure out. And in that process, I think some of the key competencies that I learned through trial and error were keep asking stupid questions, because you never know which is the right question. I mean, it's very difficult to know which is the exact right question. But asking the right question, as the panelists also said, is very, very important. But keep asking those stupid questions, because which one will lead to value, we don't know. Some intellectual grunt is required. Please do not assign analytics work to whoever is available, because that is another thing. Get 2 interns and then do some Excel analysis and then send some report. Good for the institution and good for the company. Some work has happened. Do not assign